They have been bringing us insight throughout the trial of former police officer Derek Chauvin, and joining us tonight once again is Brian Watkins and attorney Wendy Patrick. Thank you to both of you. Brian, I want to start with you. Just your reaction to the guilty verdict.
You know, I saw when the jury came back so fast, I knew it was a guilty verdict. You know, the problem with the defense's case is that they put on no evidence. That was their problem. I mean, they put on a bunch of theory that sometimes a cop can use this type of force, and you know, another cop was concerned about the crowd, but they put on no evidence that Derek Chauvin was scared or concerned about the crowd or anything. So they just tried to poke holes in the prosecution's theory, but they couldn't overcome the videotape. And so I wasn't surprised when they came back guilty with, the several hours that they did deliberate.
And Wendy, I'm wondering what you make of two key things. Number one, Chauvin himself not taking the stand, and two, by all accounts, from those of us who watched the moment today in court, entirely stone-faced throughout. Nothing. How do you read that as someone who's been in plenty of courtrooms in your career?
You know, I fancy myself as somewhat of a people reader. I've written a book on the subject, 2 books actually, and one thing I noticed is his emotion showed in his eyes. You know, it's hard to tell emotion in a mask. We've been talking about that for a year, and that was one of the things he would have had the opportunity to do had he testified, is remove the mask, face the jury, and expose his humanity. But he didn't, and as my colleague Brian notes, without that testimony regarding what was in his head, we didn't really have much except a battle of the experts. But also remember, one thing that Derek Chauvin had against him was this wasn't a case about any kind of a blue wall. This was a case about betraying the badge. There was no code of silence. There was a chorus of condemnation. So in terms of his reaction at the end, maybe there was a little bit of resignation given the way that the trial went. Had it gone differently, he might have decided to testify. But I still think, Marnie and Rob, that in his eyes, you saw really anxiety, panic, emotion, just for a minute, but you really can't hide that. Here's somebody used to coming in through the front door. He left through the back door in handcuffs, a convicted murderer.
And 40 years, the maximum sentence for that second-degree murder charge. Brian, Derek Chauvin chose to have a judge handle the sentencing rather than leave it in the hands of the jury. We expect 8 weeks. Sentencing will come down. What are your thoughts on what we should anticipate?
You know, I feel sorry. No defendant would want to be in Derek Chauvin's shoes when you have political and social, media and everyone against you. I mean, the pressure on the jury to convict, I think, was overwhelming. And if I'm Derek Chauvin, I'm filing an appeal. However, he's faced for sentencing now, and he has to do what he needed to do throughout the whole trial, which is answer the question that everybody wants to know. Why? Why did you need to keep his knee on his neck that long? Tell us why. And he failed to do it in the trial, and it caused his conviction. And now he's going to need to do that at sentencing. He's going to need to show some remorse. You know, this case was either the easiest case in the world or the hardest case in the world. He could have got up on the stand, explained to us why he did it, and if his explanation was believable and reasonable, and he showed a little remorse, he walks. And without that, it was the hardest case in the world because he did not express why. He didn't put on any evidence. He put on theory evidence like, oh, cops can do this in certain occasions, but how does that apply to this occasion? And he never answered that question. So at sentencing, he's going to need to show some remorse, or he's going to look in for a maximum stiff sentence.
And Wendy, just a few seconds left. In your estimation here, do you think this verdict sends a message to law enforcement in this country?
Oh, absolutely. You know, the goal here is not prosecution, but prevention. Both of you asked your prior guests this question. How will this change? Where have we gone in the last however many years? Decades it's been since Rodney King. But absolutely, all police departments are watching this very carefully, and they continually revise their policies and procedures, and I believe will continue to do so.
Brian Watkins and Wendy Patrick, thank you both for your time throughout the trial and again tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll be right back.